Hello, hello, hello. Feel like I'm not prepared at all. Hello, everyone. I see Sand Creek and I see Xan. How are you doing, guys? Have you had a good week? I hear voices. It's my voice. Wow. Wait. Mm-mm-mm. My voice. Hello. And I'm gonna connect Mr. Taylor as well. Otherwise, it will not be a good collab. Hmm. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my god.
Oh my
We
god,
it cuts out sometimes.
I am here.
Yeah. Jawohl. Ja.
Jawohl, mein Freund.
Damn. We're here. There we go. Here I am. Samantha is here too, and Mirai. Hello, hello. He's here. He's here. He's here. It's funny.
I am here.
It's funny because I can hear him double because I can hear him in real life in the room next to mine and over Discord. It's kind of funny.
Same.
We should soundproof it better. Voice not sound. Sir sounds loud and you sound low. Damn, am I low? I can't make myself louder, but I can make him not as loud. Okay, talk a little bit now.
Hello, hello, testing.
Testing, testing. Is that better? Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. La, la, la. Elmo's world. Better. That's good. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm really, really cold. We got in snow in Sweden, and it's very cold. And I've been very stubborn because I don't want to pay too much for the heat, so I haven't turned on my uh element. No, it's not called element. What are they called? Radiators.
It,
Yeah,
it is.
heating radiators. So it's very cold in my apartment. So I was kind enough to tell Taylor that we can put the radiators on now.
Whoa.
Whoa, it's like -9, I think. It was -3 or 5 today,
It's
but
-4 at the moment.
-4. Okay, Celsius, not Fahrenheit. For anyone who want to convert, I don't do American things. I'm not very good with Fahrenheit. It's still hot over there. Oh, that sounds nice. I also want to have a hotness. To be fair, I don't because I hate heat and warm. But it's funny because I think I'm just very Swedish. I complain no matter what kind of weather I have, no matter if it's hot or cold. I just complain. But I
It's fun
do.
to complain.
I think it's very Swedish though. I think we complain no matter what, because we small talk about the weather and that's all we have to talk about. And if you can't complain about the weather, how can you keep a conversation long,
The weather, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Weather is where we at. That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
There's so many things about the weather you can talk about, but not if you like the weather though. If you like the weather, it's just like, oh, I feel like this is nice, this is good, then you can't say anything. But if you complain about it though, so much more things you can say.
It's free real estate.
Exactly. We're gonna do something fun today. I think it's going to be fun at least. I have picked out some book covers. I picked light novels and manga because Taylor he doesn't watch anime and he doesn't read.
I am illiterate.
Yeah, He enjoys stories through me. I tell him about stories, or I force him to watch animes or stuff. I'm trying to educate him as far as I can. And I thought it would be fun if we're like, someone who like me who reads too much and a lot. I show you some book covers, and then you have to guess what you think the plot is gonna be for it. And I decided to take the Japanese covers because then you can't be helped with the titles, because some light novels have very long titles and the titles kind of explain what the plot is to the story, and I don't want you to get any help. And I just realized that you can't look at chat either because they might want to help you. No cheating, no cheating. And I think it's going to be fun. I picked 15 because last time when I did like, oh, look at all my book covers and all the other ones, we sat here for like 6 or 8 hours, and I just like, it was another after another after another. And I feel like I don't have the energy to do a long stream today. So I picked 15, and I picked some famous ones. I picked some that's, the covers are a bit suspicious, and I feel like you can't really guess the plot by looking at the covers, so it's tricky ones. I don't want it to be too easy, obviously. And then I think I have some covers for some that it's not that well known, because I feel like, it could be book recommendations for you guys if you think they're interesting. So I feel like, I will show first, and you get to guess the plot for it. And then if you can't guess the plot, or you make a fool out of yourself, I will help you by giving you the title at least, and see if you can, maybe guess it from the title. And I will help you along the way with some questions and see how it goes. And then I will say the plot, and I will say some stuff about it, and recommending and tell you guys what I think about the show and series and blah 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 blah. Is that a good way to go?
Sounds good to me.
I mean, you don't have a choice, really. You're here. You're here to be a monkey. Dance for me. Right? Yes. I want it to snow. Damn, you guys really want snow, eh? I don't recommend it. We saw a car today. It stopped in the middle of nowhere in the forest, and it was snow everywhere. They did not have a very good time. Oh, hi Brian, how you doing? Oh, every winter I go steaming and skiing and snowboarding. I actually never gone skiing before. He sees no evil, hears no evil, and speaks no evil. Oh, Taylor is nice. He's too nice for his own good. Maybe we should do an introduction, actually, because maybe not everyone knows who you are. A lot of people on my Discord know who you are because you're, in quotation, famous in the Discord. But
I'm famous.
you're famous. He's my Discord mod, and he actually is a YouTube mod, but he doesn't speak much in YouTube chat. But he's always around, and I know him in real life. Do you want to say something about yourself? Who are you?
We play League a lot together. Another game.
Yeah, we play League of Legends. A lot of guys think that Taylor is a god at League of Legends.
I have my own League fan club.
He does. Which is kind of funny. You're a jungle main. He likes to play champions. That's very toxic because that embodies who he is in League. he
I'm only
recent
toxic in League.
he recently got a chat restriction for being too toxic on League of Legends. He was also banned for ranked games.
It's not my fault I have to write those things in chat.
Oh, my bad.
You know, you see how they play, and you must type those words.
Exactly, you have to be toxic. It's not your fault that they suck and you have to be mean to them.
No, how else will they improve?
Yeah. Fun fact though, when I suck at League, he never toxic to me. He always say, "Oh, you did so well," and I sit there 120 or something. I'm like, "Yeah, I did great." Never been toxic to me though.
Or have I?
Maybe afraid to be beheaded by the queen. I don't know.
This is why I don't gank.
Oh right, yeah. You never gank my lanes. It's funny though because he's like, oh, I can't gank bot lane because I never get opportunity and I'm a support main in League, so I'm always bot lane. But then when I play mid lane, he never comes mid. When I play top lane, he never comes top lane. He just leaves me to my fate no matter what lane I am at. I feel like it's very rude. But yeah. Something else you want to say? They know now that you play League and you're an illiterate and can't read. Anything more?
I am definitely not a weeb.
Oh yeah, he's not a weeb. You're a nerd though, but not like anime manga nerd. You're nerd in other categories. Like
I'm more like
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft military history nerd.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He knows a lot about tanks, and actually two. I picked two books with that in mind. So you know. Oh, you're getting help already. Now you know
I'm
there's
getting help.
now you know there's two with maybe perchance a little bit of history in them.
Oh.
I took one because I know you're gonna laugh a lot at it, and I was like, yeah, you need to have that. But
I think I might have seen something like that.
no.
Tank related.
It's not tank related. You're gonna understand when you see it. You're gonna understand when you see it. So the question is, should we get going? Should we start? The question is, do I go from top to bottom of my list, or do you want to say a request for something? Is there a specific one you want to start with? A funny one, or do you want a more serious one, or a hard one? Or do you want to start off easy?
Let's go top from bottom.
From top to bottom. Okay. I think that's gonna be a good mix because I mix them all up that way. So that's good. Okay, we will start with hiccup. Okay, let's see. What other people here that have played League of Legends, it's about fighting. What I hear, because I've never played League of Legends, blah 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 blah. It's not really about fighting, is it? I mean, it could be. The question is, do you see my chat, or do you want me to screen share with you the pictures as well? Do you want me to send the pictures to you? Actually,
I have the stream and chat on my phone.
I send it on Discord as well. and you get the picture. This is the first light novel that we have. I don't know what it's about. Yeah, I can see that you don't know what it's about. This is a light novel, but they also made an anime and a movie on this one. I don't play the game, but I love Arcane. Same, but it's not same. I play the game and I love Arcane.
Which we are watching later.
Oh yeah, after stream we're gonna watch the third part of the second season. We got some wine as well.
Very nice.
We got wine and Arcane later. I can't read it. Oh yeah, it's a bit grumbly because I could only find with the English one and not the Japanese cover, so this is a bit bad quality. It's a bit smudged maybe. So what do you say, Taylor? What do you think this one is about? What can you see if you look at it?
So I see this lady sitting on a chair surrounded by books.
Yeah.
So the story is about her, obviously, and she is very into books. And maybe she's too into books, so she's a loner, but she reads like romantic books. So she's starting to crave some attention from the boys.
Okay. Yeah.
So the story is one day she starts feeling too alone, so she tries to challenge herself to go outside and meet people, but she has like 1 in charisma, so it's very awkward and cute and wholesome.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what chat is saying. It's about Ophi's life reading. Feels like a mystery genre. I'm slamming my desk. I can't get the idea based on the cover. It is set in a doctor's office. I feel like, your plot summary was really interesting. If that would have been a book, though, I would read it. I feel like I would relate to that book a lot.
Feels relatable.
Very relatable. I also have 1 in charisma. What do you mean? I feel like this...
If you have 1 in charisma, what do I have?
-5.
Yeah, damn.
Okay, if I tell you the book is called Biblia Koshoda no Yiken Teko, does that say anything to you?
Nothing at all.
If I say antiquarian bookshop, then case file.
Oh.
The story is about this woman. She has a second-hand shop or antique shop for books, and she's really into books. That's true. And she doesn't like humans. That's also true. So I mean, that's a good point, right? She really, really, really loves books, and she has this antique shop where, I mean, books have stories inside them, right? Because that's why we read books, because we love the stories inside. But this woman, she loves the story behind the books, like who owned this specific book and what did that person do with the book? Did they buy it for school or whatever? And she likes to see all the people who own the book and see what they did with the book and the book's kind of lifespan and all the humans that owned it, kinda. So it's kind of like a mystery book where she looks into the past stories about who owned the books before. And there's this man who comes into her shop one day and he hates books, and he have got some books from his mother, I think, that died, and they are like signed, and he wants to give them to her, and she gets really excited, and she's going to like look up the story behind the books and why they're signed and how the mother got them in possessions and everything. And this man gets like a new appreciation for book that he never realized that he had. I like this one. Sadly, it was never translated completely, and there's only like fan-made translations of it, but they didn't translate all of them. I think they only translated 4 or something, and then they stopped, sadly. I would love to read all of the books, but no. Doesn't look bright for that. But I mean, you were pretty close to it though, right?
I guess some part of the story, right?
Exactly. And I can see why people think it's a doctor's office though, because like if you see there's some scissors in front of her,
Yeah.
and then there's like a computer in the back and stuff, but then you have like the birds that's going to like represent the freedom, and they're made out of paper and books, you know, because the books have wings and blah blah blah. It's kind of deep, yeah. I feel like it's more sentimental and a different kind of spin to book stories, I feel, because most books is about like, you know, the stories inside the books, but this one is more like who owned the books and what kind of lives did those people have and what kind of houses or places have this book seen. What computer? I mean, I think it's a computer in the background, or is it a post-it with the moon on it? I always assumed it was a computer and a screensaver, but it could be a paper maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard to see.
It's kind of hard to see. Yeah. I liked it though. I thought it was a book. I mean, it could be a book. Maybe. Perhaps. I just like it. It's a different kind of spin to book novels. I think I see a stethoscope and a flower on the computer screen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I don't think it's a stethoscope, though. I feel like, you know, you get 1 point for that, though.
Ooh, a point?
Yeah, you got a 1 point. Because, I mean, you did guess that she doesn't really have any family or friends, and she's a loner, and she's a bookworm who's really, really, really into books, because she is, you know? Then you lost me with she needs to go out and meet people thing, though. Yeah.
Oh no.
But I mean, it is a wholesome one, though. I just also like that it's a mystery book, but it doesn't have like murders and crimes and stuff. It's more like I wonder who owned this book, and this name says this, blah blah blah, you know. So it is a mystery book to like see the background story of books, but not with murder intentions and stuff. He got 1 point if he names one thing involved with the book.
Well,
I mean, I feel like it was a good start to start with this one, because like it's I feel like it's an easy one to guess with the with the book. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the music because it's very loud in my ear. There we go. Should we go with the next one? Are you ready for number 2?
I am ready.
Oh damn, you were born ready.
I was born for this.
Damn. Oh, this one is a Korean one, and it's actually a manga and not a light novel. And I'm gonna say this. I have told you about this book, and I own these books.
Oh
so
shit.
so if you can't guess or tell me the plot, I will take that as you not listening to me when I'm talking about books.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So tell me, what is this book about? Hi.
Maybe.
What did you say?
He's an asshole.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, okay. So he's an asshole. What did you get that from? Because she doesn't smile, or
I don't know.
you just guessing?
Shit,
Okay, okay.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
Like it looks like she's getting married or doing something.
Hmm.
She well, she doesn't look happy in the picture, but
Yeah.
I just guess that.
Yeah.
We guessing away.
Yeah.
Mm.
The chat is saying that fresh flowers often signify new upcoming sadness. Mm.
Ooh.
You want to know the title of this Korean manga?
What's the title?
Bride of the Water God.
Bride of the Water God. That
Mm.
does sound familiar.
Yeah, because I've talked about it, you asshole. Maybe you're the asshole.
Well, maybe I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Um, and the story is, I mean, it's kind of true, I guess. But it's about, she's not a wealthy noble woman. She is she lives a life until she's like 16 in a village, and they do not have any water at all. And they decide to sacrifice a woman to the water god, because that's what you do back in the day. uh, so
Or
they so they picked her, and she did not want to be sacrificed, but she will do the best for, her village, for them to have rain so they can have food and survive the winter and blah blah blah. So the first chapter, she actually is pushed out into the water and drowned to meet the water god, and he actually is an asshole.
yes,
Cause,
you.
Cause when she dies and she comes there, he's like, what the fuck? So humans sacrifice you for water? I don't think so. They will not have water for another 100 years. Fuck them, you know. And he doesn't want to marry her, and he is like 8 years old or something like that.
Okay.
But it's only because he's only a small boy during the day, because he's made of water, because he's the water god. So during the night, when it's not as warm, he grows and he becomes a full-fledged man.
Whoa.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. She only know the small baby version of him that's very stubborn. But technically, she's getting married, so that's true. And she's not happy, obviously, because she was murdered by her entire family and everyone. Bratty? Ah, he's not really bratty, but also kind of bratty. He was in love with a woman, and she was also a sacrificee. But then she died, and he's still not over her, and he is still in love with her, and he does not like humans, and he feel like humans are stupid, and he don't want to help humans. And there's a lot of background story to it. It's really good though. I do recommend it. The English translation is really, really rough though, and really bad. Sadly. Maybe they done a better job now, but if I read my books that I have at home, they are really, really rough. Like, really, really bad. Sometimes you have to guess to understand what they mean because it's that bad. But I still like it. It's one of my favorite manhwas, Korean manga, because of the art style. I love the big pictures because they have a lot of big, huge pictures in the manga with really beautiful clothing and stuff. And there's other kind of gods who live in the realm of the water god, so you can like see all the different gods and what kind of powers they have. It's pretty good. Can I request a book? After we're done with all of the ones I already have, and if we have more time over, we do request after that. The book I got you is bad. It's not bad. You know I love it, Gina. It's just that, the translation is just really bad, because some sentences just doesn't make sense, It's just sometimes you feel like they're Google translated, you know? It's just really bad, and in good timing that you're here, Gina, because the next pick that I picked because of you, because I want Taylor to react to Gina's maybe favorite anime and manga, and this is a very famous one. So I know chat is going to know. And because I know Taylor is reading chat, please don't spurt out the name or what it's about to help him, please.
I will not look.
That's good. That's good.
I look after I get the answer.
That's good. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna send you the pictures as well. There we go. So we should behave? Yes, please, behave.
Behave.
Yes, so this is both a manga and an anime. It was really hard, by the way, to find a Japanese cover for this one. I don't know why, but there was not a very good picture of them. It was always the Japanese and the English one underneath it. So I was like, can you... And this one is kind of hidden, but also not hidden. So I don't know. So what are you getting from this?
I actually think I recognize the blonde guy.
You think it's a guy at least?
I mean, his chest is out.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Gina's brother thought the blonde person was a girl.
Really?
Yeah, but he didn't see this picture, of course. He watched the anime though, so I don't know. Oh no, the bot is still okay. Don't mind the bot. It's for my co study stream that we have tomorrow. But you recognize it. Have you seen it or have you read it? Or do you have seen it around but you haven't seen the show, maybe?
I've not seen the show or anything, but I have definitely scrolled somewhere and seen a picture of him.
Oh, yeah, okay. So what do you think it's about then?
Okay, so I see this guy with a robot arm. Kind of like Johnny Silverhand.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Makes sense.
So it's probably like some future setting, maybe. Or maybe it's a like medieval setting, but it's like a magical fake hand.
Yeah.
Like that boss from Elden Ring.
Oh, I don't know Elden Ring, yeah, but I believe you.
And behind him is like a guy or a robot, looks like.
Mm.
You can see the shoulder there with the faction mark or whatever.
Oh, it's a robot, you say? Or what did you say it was?
It's either a robot or a guy in armor.
Ah, like Fallout armor?
It kind of looks like power armor,
Oh, yeah, I
maybe.
see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the question is, do I go with the route that they are in the future, or maybe it's like medieval fantasy?
Yeah.
Because his arm kind of looks like a suit of knight armor, but it's also like a metal arm, kind of high tech,
Yeah. So, do you think it's sci-fi or more fantasy, historical, blah blah blah?
Hmm. I will guess it's a medieval fantasy with a little bit of magic mixed in.
Why do you say magic though?
I don't know how did they make his arm work.
Oh yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
It kind of looks he has pretty good control over it.
Oh yeah. Pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty nice.
If I tell you that the name of this show or manga is called Full Metal Alchemist, will that give you any hints to add something to the story?
I actually have heard of it.
Oh, you have?
I have heard of it, but I have never looked it up, so I have no idea what the story is.
Yeah. Gina says that she have special editions, and when we were at her place the other day, she almost showed them to you.
Damn.
It's a good thing you didn't. Keep him in the dark so I can surprise him on stream instead.
All of this is planned.
Sorry. Everyone is saying though that you're not wrong, and you kinda isn't wrong, to be honest. I like how it's very like, it's kinda right, but also kinda not right at the same time. You know what I mean?
And a half and half.
Very much half and half.
And if I'm gonna continue to guess, I assume that guy in the background is like the enemy, maybe.
So like the relationship is that he's the hero in the front, and then the guy in the back is the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're definitely off.
He gives the bad guy vibes.
Yeah, now you're definitely off the marks.
Yeah.
Actually, the story, I mean, it's not a sci-fi, so you got that correct. It is kind of fantasy-esque, with alchemists and magic. And the guy in front, he is the main character. And the guy in the back is not the enemy.
Oh no.
It's the little brother of the guy in front.
He's so big though.
Yeah, but it's set in like a fictional universe where alchemy or like magic or practice as science or whatever. And the entire show or a manga follows the journey of the two brothers, Edward and Alphonse, something like that. They are alchemist brothers, and they are searching for the Philosopher's Stone to restore their bodies after a failed attempt, because they try to bring their mother back to life, but you can't bring someone back to life. And to do so, they had to give up the worst thing ever and sacrifice stuff. And Edward, I mean, he gave away his arm, and that's why he got a mechanic arm. And Alfonso, he gave up his entire body, kind of. But Edward was quick enough to seal him in a body armor. So technically, there's nothing inside the armor but the spirit of his little brother. And that's why they're looking for the Philosopher's Stone to get Alphonse back to life. Or in a proper body again.
Sounds pretty cool.
It sounds pretty cool. I think you would actually like the series. I feel like this is a series up your alley if you got to watch something. Maybe you can borrow the books from Gina.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Even though you're illiterate.
Can she trust me?
I don't think. I don't know. Gina, do you trust him with your special edition books? I know she had a hard time to find them.
The special edition books, even.
Yeah, she has very cool special edition books. My precious, oh no, not her precious. I don't think she trusts you or anyone, to be honest.
My precious.
I think you have to go to her and read her books so she can like keep an eye on you and the books.
Supervise me.
Yeah. Like you supervise a kid, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, you were kind of right, but also not really. But you did not get a bullseye with the enemy one, you know?
Yeah. He looks so scary though.
I mean, I agree with you. And that's like, I think that's a running joke too, because Edward is very short. He's a short king, just like you.
Oh my god.
And you have so much in common. Oh my god, that freaked me out. Was that
what?
I think someone followed me. And it was really loud. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, and I think it's a running gag in this series that everyone is just like, oh my god, you're a shrimp, you know, because he's so small, and his little brother, in quotation mark, isn't so little and he's huge, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. You know, you have the small big brother with a big mouth, and then you have the super kind-hearted, cuddly bear of a little brother in a big armor, you know?
Very cuddly.
Very cuddly. We have the next one, which is another manga. Oh, this is a big one. This one is a Japanese one. So, let me send this one to you as well. I feel like this one isn't as common. I feel like a lot of people maybe haven't heard of this. Maybe people have seen the anime, but I don't think a lot of people have read the manga. Do you have any guesses?
Okay. So I see this Japanese schoolgirl.
This is, by the way, one of the hard ones. I feel like, you know, it's this one. I picked this one because it's really hard because you can't really tell from the cover.
Okay. So zooming in on the picture, it looks like either a crack or spider web.
Yeah.
I think it's more spider web.
Very good spotted.
And she's wearing black and red, like a black widow.
Yeah.
So we have a spider theme here, it seems.
So you're telling me she's a spooder lady or girl?
I think it's a spooder lady. And she's a black widow.
Yeah.
Which means she eat men, maybe, I don't know.
Doesn't
But
Black Widow only eat men they fornicate with? or
I think so.
fuck, as you say today. I feel like
I think
fornicate
that's
is a
pretty
funnier
common for
word.
all spiders.
Oh yeah, maybe. We should start doing that as humans too.
What?
Anyway.
Okay. So I believe she's some kind of monster girl with the monster part being spider, and she for some reason lures men, maybe bad men, and then she kills them and eats them. This was a hard one.
It is a hard one.
But I'm gonna lock in that she's a spider woman,
Yeah.
and she kills people.
Yeah. So, Spider-Man multiverse, but bad. What
Yeah.
genre do you think it is? Do you think it's like a comedy, or do you think it's more like mystery, or action, or horror, or what are we thinking?
It definitely looked like horror.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna say it's a comedy. She's a wholesome lass. She's a quirky girl who likes spiders. That's her hobby.
The chat is saying a horror story featuring giant spiders and ghosts. That's almost like what you said. And then someone is asking, is this Jigoko Choyu? And yes, it is. Someone knows this story. I'm happy. That makes my heart doki doki. I actually have this book, and I also actually showed this book to you, Taylor. But the English version. And the English version of it is called Hell Girl.
Hell Girl.
Do you want to change your answer after hearing that? Hell Girl. Or do you still think she's a spider woman but from hell?
So with that name, it sounds like she's some kind of demon girl. But the cover still makes me believe that her demon things is spider themed.
Yeah. So we're locking that in.
We're locking in, boys.
We're doing it. Yeah, you're completely wrong. I don't actually know why it's having spiders or why it's cracked like that, because the book has nothing to do with it. This story is about this girl. That's true. Her name is Enma I. She is she's kind of like the Reaper, but also not a Reaper. She's more like a Reaper demon. She doesn't collect all the souls, but she collects damned souls. She has a website in the human world that's called the Hell Site or whatever. And if you truly hate someone and you want them gone and you want them sent to hell, you can write their name into this website and Enma I will come to you. And you can only go to this website during midnight. And she will come to you and she will give you a choice. She gives you a doll with a red string. And if you truly hate the person, you have to pull the string. And if you do that, Enma I will drag the person to hell and have them tortured for the rest of their existing life, which is forever because they're dead. But you can only do this if you are ready to also be dragged to hell and tortured after you yourself die. And yeah, it's about hell, and she's hell's girl, kinda. Every chapter is like a new story about a new person who wants revenge or something from Hellgirl and they contact her. So like every story is a new story. It's very episodic like that. But there is a background story too about who Enma I is and who she became Hellgirl. It's doesn't she have a spider watcher overseer? I mean, yes and no. There is a spider in her house, but there's nothing in the anime or the manga that refers to it is in any way. But there is a spider in her house that she talks to sometimes, but we don't know who it is. Some people have speculated that it's like Lucifer or something, or it's like because she's there for uh she has like a couple of million souls that she has to reap before she can go on and be rest in peace, in heaven like normal people do or whatever. And some people think that this is some kind of like manager that's there to like make sure that she does her job as a proper reaper. If that's true or not, I don't know. It's all speculation in the end because it's never said who this spider is or if the spider at all is a person at all. It could just be a normal spider in her home in hell. Who knows? But it's kind of cool though.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Hitman from Hell.
Yeah.
Pretty cool concept.
Pretty cool concept. Pretty cool.
How the hell was I supposed to guess that?
I don't know. That's the funny part of this story. You know? It makes the game more fun like that. What do you mean?
Oh my god.
Oh, hello, Dad. How are you doing? Hello. So far, Taylor is actually doing pretty good. He got like half a point. I mean, guess half a point. He's getting half points on everything except for this one. I'm not going to, pass him on this cover because he was very off. The next one, I also think you're gonna have struggles with. Maybe, but I also think it's going to be a good one.
Ooh.
And it's this one. Because the thing is, this one looks very... like a lot of... It could be anything, really.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. This was also very hard to find a non-English version for, by the way, because everyone I found had the English title plastered on it. This is a light novel. I think they made an anime on this one as well, but I'm not sure. Or maybe they are making an anime for it, but it's not out yet. I don't know yet. I don't know. I only read the first book of it. So, what do you think? What do you think the plot is?
Okay. So, the lady in the front, she looks like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
And I think the guy in the background is dressed like the typical teacher, maybe.
Oh, so you're thinking a teacher-student love romance?
Now the question is how crazy the story gets.
Some stories do go crazy.
Hella crazy.
It's Japan.
It is Japan. So I think we are in a school setting. She is his student. What subject he teaches? Maybe English teacher.
Oh.
But what do they get up to?
Sex. I don't know. What kind of
Um,
genre
yeah.
do you think it is? Do you think it's a wholesome drama, or do you think it's a slice of life, or romance, or do you think it's detective stuff, mystery? What are we thinking in genre?
Hmm.
Comedy, maybe? I don't know. What do you think?
It could be romance, but that would be kind of weird.
Hmm.
Maybe slice of life,
Hmm.
perhaps. Maybe wholesome student-teacher relationship.
Oh, okay. So nothing weird then.
Uh,
Only.
I'm crossing my fingers. Nothing weird is happening between them.
Yeah. Mm.
Maybe
If I tell you he's 26, will that matter?
20.
And she's in high school.
Oh, then he's definitely a teacher or a like apprentice, something like that.
Mm.
Hmm. I think she's a normal school student at the school,
Yeah.
and one day he replaces her old teacher, and maybe she gets a crush on him because he kinda cute, you know. He's
Uh-huh.
still kinda young, so he kinda cute.
Yeah.
Teenage hormones kick in,
Mm.
and she tries to seduce him, but he is not interested at all. So she makes a fool out of herself all the time in front of him.
Uh-huh.
Maybe something like that.
Dumb.
Hmm. I think I'm locking that one in.
Okay. This is
Okay, how
gonna
wrong was that?
this is gonna be a crazy one for you. I can start with the title because the title kind of tells you the plot already. And the title is I Shaved, Then I Brought a High School Girl Home.
Okay.
It's about this salesman who one day when he goes home from work and he's all like, "Ooh, I hate life." uh,
Ooh.
he finds a runaway, and it's this high school girl, and she's like, "May I stay and I have sex with you as payment?" Kinda. uh, and he's like, "What?" But he does take her in though, and they form a bond.
But what kind of bond?
It's a romance story. uh, but uh, yeah, they do the deed and
Oh
stuff.
no. Oh no.
But I think it's more a slice of life romance story than a comedy, but it does have some funny parts. It was weird to me to read it though because like I thought the romance was cute and I thought it was a cute story, but then I had to like re telling myself that he's kinda 10 years older than her and she's like 16 and he's 26 and it's weird. Like no matter how you turn and twist it, it's weird.
Very weird.
But like if you don't know their ages, it's kind of cute. Kind of
It would be
I
cuter if she was an adult.
it would be cuter if they were adult. There were consent in it though, so there were no like weird stuff going on. But like, how much consent can you give when you're 16 to a 26-year-old? You know. But it was
Hmm.
also stated that she wasn't a virgin either. So I don't know.
Very important details.
I read the first one. I haven't, continued the story because it's rubbing me the wrong way. She does develop a crush on him, but he rejects her every time and views her more as a daughter. I mean, yeah, not really in the light novels. I mean, he does reject her, but I read spoilers that they end up together and they do have sex and they actually do the deed together. I don't know how far the anime gone because I haven't watched anime. Like I said, I only read the first light novel and then I was like, I need to know what happens, because it's rubbing me the wrong way, and I spoiled myself and I was like, okay, thanks. Now I know and I don't want to continue this, thanks. But I heard people like it. Not my thing though, I guess. Speaking of weird things, the next one is from one of my favorite manga artists. And I picked this one because the cover is sublime. I think it's like, you can't really tell what it's about, I think, when you look at the cover. And I think it would be fun to hear you guess what it's about when you see the cover. And it's this one. See, I sent it to you as well. There's some nudity in this one.
What do we have here?
If you spent some time looking at my bookshelves, you should have seen the entire... I think I also told you about this one because I'm so passionate about it.
Okay, let's analyze this.
Yeah. So
we see this smaller guy inside of the girl's chest.
Yeah.
Between maybe Booba. That means shape shifting or transformation. Maybe the story is about the guy that one day turns into the girl that is holding the real him.
Like trans, or just like he becomes someone else?
Like he magically wakes up one day and he is another person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bye-bye, Death.
Then I can guess he maybe is still in school. So now he has to go to school as a girl. Yeah. And then the boys think he's cute, but he thinks it's weird because they are guys, and he's a guy really. But they don't know that because he transformed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm wrong because you're laughing at me.
I mean, it sounds like a good book. I will read that plot.
Ooh.
Ooh. You gonna lock in that answer?
I'm locking it in.
Oh, damn. You wanna know the title?
What's the title?
Inside Mari.
Inside Mari.
Do you want to change anything after hearing that?
Yeah, with that title, it sounds like they are two different people. Maybe he's interested in her and he wants to get to know her. Like romantically.
Yeah. What genre do you think it is? Do you think it's a comedy, romance, horror, mystery,
I think
supernatural?
I think it's a romance, and I think that lady is Mori,
Hmm.
and that guy she's holding. Hmm.
Do you think it's a romance between those two?
I think it's a romance between them.
Hmm.
Maybe the girl is in love with the boy, and that's why she's holding him in the cover.
Hmm.
But he's too stupid to get her hints.
Oh, so he's autistic. Like you.
It sounds familiar. I can relate to that story.
I see, I see. Hmm.
I'm locking in the new answer.
Oh, and the new answer was that he's autistic and she's in love with him.
Yes.
Okay, okay. We're looking that in. To be honest, you were more right the first time.
God damn. God damn.
This is the story about changing.
Oh.
The guy on the cover, it's about him. He is going to the university, but university got really, really hard for him and really rough for him. And he got an anxiety and he kind of dropped out, but he can't tell his parents. And his parents is still like sending money for him to go to school. So, like, right now, he's a shut in and he lives in his apartment and doesn't leave. He's just sitting and eating ramen and noodles and playing video games all day because he can't handle life. But he goes to the corner store every day at the same time to meet this girl called Mari, and she doesn't know that he exists. So he kind of like goes there because he knows that she's going to be there, and then he stalks her and follows her home like every day because he's kind of like in love with her. And then one day he wakes up inside of her and he has taken over her body and he freaks out, and he's like, oh no, I need to like get changed to go to school because she can't drop out of high school because she's a high schooler. So he's like, she can't drop out, so I have to go to school. So I have to get dressed, but I don't want to like shame my crush and like look at her naked body. So I have to like, get dressed but not look at her and stuff like that, and he's struggling. And he's trying to get back to his body, and he assumes that Mari is inside of his body while he is inside of her body, and he kind of is trying to get them to switch back somehow. But there's a huge plot twist in the end, which is like, super mind blowing, and I did not see that one coming, and it's a great manga. I feel like everyone should read it at some point. It's pretty good. I have all the
Sounds
books.
interesting.
Yeah, I have all the books if you want to start reading them.
Oh, let's go.
This author, I can say, he has a lot of nudity in them, and a lot of people don't like it. because because he usually have high schoolers, and high school bodies is like, oh no, don't look at it. But he's obviously in love with this Mari girl, and he's now in her body, and sometimes he's like, I'm a man, I have to, so he touches her and stuff. It's weird.
Oh no.
Yeah. Especially because like you're seeing the thing and it's kind of like depicted in the pictures like a woman touching herself, but then you have like his thoughts and he's like, oh yeah, she likes when I do this to her, and I'm like, that scene was kind of uncomfortable reading though, but
That's very sus.
I also didn't know it was gonna come. I actually read that chapter at a family gathering.
Oh no.
I know, and it's a big spread across 2 pages with the girl spreading her legs, you know. And when I opened it, my dad looked over my shoulder at the same time, and he was like, "So this is the things you read?" And I was like, "Don't look, Dad. This is the first time I read something slightly like that."
Looking at porn at the family gathering.
Yeah. Who am I? I have to
What are
hide.
you?
I have to hide my porn much better. Oh my god. Yeah, so that was kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie. But I like it. It's a good one. I find it funny how close you were the first time, but then you change
Damn,
your mind
damn.
to
What?
something else.
Oh no.
Hmm. That is crazy though.
I mean, I'm pretty good at guessing the cover, not the
See,
titles.
you are. And the next one, this is the one I'm mostly anticipating seeing your
Oh,
reaction to.
the big one.
One of the big ones, but this one, I feel like you can get a kick out of this one. Let me show you. Here we go. It's such a great cover. This is a manga. It's a standalone manga with only one book.
Hmm.
Hmm. There is
What
also
is
a
this?
Japanese movie. I've been meaning to maybe watch the Japanese movie on movie night on Discord, but I don't know if anyone would be interested in this one because it's definitely different.
It's different.
mm, mm,
Hmm.
mm.
They definitely look different.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hmm. How do we do this one?
Wait, there's an anime too? Oh my god, I didn't know that. I only thought it was a manga for it. And a movie. Oh, now I'm intrigued. I need to look it up. Hmm. What do you think
Hmm.
the story is about? Do you have any ideas?
Okay, so I think they are some kind of rock band, and the singer and slash main guy in the band, the face forward, is
There
the
is that
big guy in
anime.
the middle.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Bass guy, music guy, I heard.
Okay, so it's about a rock band in Japan,
Hmm.
and all the people here are members or related to the band.
Hmm.
Uh, I think the guy in the middle is the singer,
Hmm.
and the people, all the people in hats are also stage performers, like playing instruments and shit.
Yeah.
And the lady in the bottom corner, maybe she's some manager or groupie maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy in the bottom left, maybe he's like also a manager or maybe a mascot for the band. Hmm.
Mm.
And the story follows them and doing their gigs around Japan, and they do crazy things in the after parties and on stage.
Yeah.
I go with that one.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Hmm.
Nothing is correct so
Oh
far.
no.
It does kind of look like an 80s LP front thingy. I mean,
Yes.
it does. What if I say the name is Likey Light Club or Lychee Light Club?
Light Club.
Hmm.
So maybe they're not a band, but they are a club.
Hmm.
Hmm. What does this club do? What's the point? Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all dressed the same and thing, so
Yeah.
maybe they have a cult, perhaps,
Mm.
trying to recruit people.
Ooh.
Hmm. Okay, I'm changing my vote. It's a cult
Mm.
doing cult things like recruiting people, killing people,
Mm.
maybe eating people. Hmm.
Oh.
The, the,
Ooh.
the guy in the
Cannibalism.
mid, the guy in the bottom left and in the middle definitely eats people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We go there. We go that route. I'm
Mm.
looking in.
Mm. What kind of genre do you think it is?
Hmm. It looks like a funny story.
Oh yeah, so it's a comedy then.
Yeah.
Hmm. You should definitely read this book.
Oh.
It's not a comedy.
Oh no.
But it
Is it
is
horror?
uh maybe uh perhaps
Maybe.
this after reading this you feel like it's the biggest a fever dream you have ever done. I bought it because it gave me Soviet Union cult member vibes. Because I was like, oh, this looks pretty good, and it said cult on the background. So I mean, you're right about the cult thing. um but then when you start reading it, you're hit with one deprived thing after another, and it's just it's crazy. Um, hmm.
Hmm.
The plot is about these nine boys. They have this light club or whatever. They are in middle school, so they don't look like middle schoolers, but they are. They are in like fifth or sixth grade or something like that. Um, uh, the uniform they have is their school uniforms, actually. Um, but it's a group that slowly just begins to resemble a very twisted fascist cult, in whatever that means. And they have a goal that they want to achieve in punishing the adults that have like stained the world, you know, around us, and they strive to build an ultimate weapon to take everyone down. And they have created or built an artificial intelligence or an AI, or as they call it, Lychee or Likey, or Litchi or whatever you want to call it. And it's the guy in the bottom left. And to see if this ultimate AI weapon works, they tell him to kidnap that girl in the bottom right and torture her and stuff. uh,
Oh no.
it kind of feels like a cult that have created AI Frankenstein, because he gives the same vibe as Frankenstein. He doesn't understand anything. He craves parents and what is right and wrong, and he's born into these middle schoolers who have like bad intentions of what they want to do with him and the world. Um, there's also Does he have a sword? He does not have a sword. Would I remember? I don't think so. No, he's just having really, really strong. There's also gay lovemaking in this. Some of
I can see why you wanted this.
The leader wants people to do stuff to him, but he's not gay.
Of course.
Of course not. And there, some of the members, they are in love with him, but he's like, I'm not gay because you suck me off. Doesn't make me gay. And there's some weird sexual things going on considering they're supposed to be in middle school. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like this one, but it's definitely a fever dream. And then when you like tell people about it, they're like, "Wait, that's really fucked up." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Sounds like a cool story.
yeah." And that's why I've been like, maybe we should watch it on movie night. But I don't know. I feel like if all the scenes that's in the manga is in the movie, I don't think we can watch it because like it's very graphic. I don't know how to explain it otherwise, but I don't know. I thought it was good though. I think it's supposed to be a horror, just like Frankenstein is supposed to be a horror, but it's not like it's not spooky. It's just more like what the fuck, and yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of stuff happens after they kidnap the woman and things go down. Not so much good things, obviously.
Depends who's asking.
That's true. That's true. Should we take the next one? Because this is also a pretty good one, I feel like. Oh, this one was big in size. Wait, I need to resize it. No. Oh, I can hear someone outside. Okay, there we go. And I send it to you as well for you to look at. This is a manga. It's a manga series.
Oh.
I also have all the books in this series as well.
Oh, this looks like a spicy one.
Oh.
I see some English words too.
Oh no, I see them too now. Sad. Okay.
Pleasure corrupt.
Yeah, the title is actually Pleasure and Corruption. I can say that.
Wow. Oh, and she got him tied up. Damn. So it's a story about the guy in the middle. He's pretty innocent, pretty naive, so to say. And the girl there, she's like experienced. She knows what she wants, and she knows how to take it. Sounds relatable.
Damn. So you're telling me the genre is hentai? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think you have. I don't think you have that on here, but.
I mean.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
But I think I was right with the. That's a inexperienced, little shy guy, and she's more like large and in charge.
Large? What do you mean?
Large and in charge. She the boss.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm. And I think they have like some toxic love relationship.
Oh, toxic how?
She looks pretty abusive.
Oh no.
It looks like she takes what she wants when she wants.
Oh, I see, I see. So you think it's a romance story then with some etchy, like some lewdness to it?
I think so.
Is it something you wanna read yourself?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? I see.
Maybe it's good, yes.
I mean, I own all the books. Obviously, it's
Oh.
good.
Oh, it's really good then.
It's really good. I mean, it depends. It depends. You want me to tell you the story?
I want to add. It looks like he has a school uniform on. So maybe it's a teacher-student relationship.
Oh, I see.
And she's corrupting the student.
So that's where the corruption comes from. I see.
She's giving him all the taboo pleasures and corrupting him.
I see, I see. Yeah. I mean, technically, the line "she's giving him taboo pleasures and corrupting him" is correct. That's okay. That's the summary. But it's about this guy in the cover, and he's very stressed because of school. They have midterms coming up, and he doesn't know what to do. And so to take off that pressure that he feels, he take photographs of girls under their skirt. So he take his phone and he shove it up underneath their skirts, and he take photos of them when they walking upstairs and stuff.
Normal hobby.
And then he saves all these panty shots and faps to them. And this girl on the cover, she sees him one day when he does this, and they go to the same school. And she takes his phone and she tells him that she's going to tell the police, and he gets really, really scared. And she says that he has to do whatever she wants, or she's going to the police with the phone and all the evidence of the photographs and stuff. And she has the same problem with being tensed for school and stuff. And what she likes to do is BDSM, and she likes to tie people up and torture them with pleasure. So he has to be her little slave and get tied up all the time when she feels like it, or she will go to the police with all the stuff that she has. And he realizes that he really enjoys it, and she is a very experienced BDSM person. But it's very non-sexual. It's more like, feeling trapped and stuff like that. So there's not a lot of sexual scenes. There's some, but they are blurred out. So you can't see PPs just because it's not a hentai. It's more a etchy one, and stuff. She gets to hold his pee when he pee and stuff.
Gets to aim. That's a big privilege.
But then he also gets a girlfriend because first he thinks that he falls in love with her, and she's like, no, 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 I'm just a mistress. You know, I only do BDSM and stuff. It's not nothing emotional, nothing sexual. You know. And then he gets a girlfriend, and the girlfriend she wants to learn the BDSM because she wants to do it to him too, but then we get to know that BDSM is so much more than just like hurting someone. And the author who wrote this book actually started going to a Japanese BDSM club and learned a lot of things about BDSM, and they're teaching you in this book the proper way and the proper use of BDSM, how to do it the safe way, which is kind of cool.
Very informational.
It's very informational. Each book also have an afterwards on how you do it. Like, you know, you can't just take any rope, for example. You have to prepare the rope to make it soft and so it doesn't like rub on the skins and stuff like that. So you have to like prepare it with oils or candle wax and stuff like that because it's supposed to be like painful, but not like painful. There's a fine line when you go over, and you have to know your clients that you do it to and stuff. And I don't know, I thought it was a very good story. I don't think many have heard of it, but definitely a good romance story. A weird ending, I must say, because it came very abrupted, so I don't know why that happened. I hated the last chapter because it made no sense. But the story was good. I liked it. Next one, we have another one that's really hiccup, a really famous one, which has both an anime, manga, and a light novel to it. Oh, that's super small. There we go. And I send to you too. Funny story about this. It came out roughly when I was working as a librarian with a friend, another librarian called Maria. And Maria told me about this, and she was like, "It's so funny! Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yeah, that plot is not sticking. It's not gonna be long-winded. People are not gonna read that." And it has a lot of volumes. People are definitely reading it. It's really, really popular. I only read the first manga for it though, and I seen videos of the anime. But I do want to read the light novel of it, I think. What are we thinking?
It's a lot to take in.
I know there's a lot to look at, a lot to take
like
in.
I'm zooming in on the picture, trying to see all the details.
Yeah.
So the story is about that spider thing on top of the cliff.
I think that's the main character.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he has like a piggy face, like a snout and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and the way he holds his arm, it kind of looks like he's holding a sword too.
Oh yeah.
So the story is about the spider guy in the forest, and he wants to be like a warrior, and he goes on a quest to find something, maybe discover his true warrior form. And during his travels, he come across the wasp, the dragon, and he maybe has to fight with the wasp because he's a spider. I don't know. Do spiders fight wasps? Who knows? You can also see like skulls and a sword, actual sword, next to him.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think it's a story about the spider guy that wants to be a warrior, and his quest to improve as a warrior takes him through the forest where he encounters friends and enemies that he has to conquer and befriend.
I mean,
Hmm.
yeah. What kind of genre do you think it is?
And this, it looks like it would be a funny comedy, action comedy.
Oh yeah. It looks as that he tried the anime and he didn't seem to do anything particular or outstanding. Ah, so you didn't finish it. I see. If I say that the English title is So I'm a Spider, so what? Does that change anything?
I don't think so. It's a spider guy who wants to prove himself as a big warrior.
Yeah. Do you know what an isekai is?
I have no idea.
Isekai is a Japanese thing, I think. I think it started in Japan at least with someone who in our world dies and then they are reincarnated. It can also be, it means reincarnation. You are born again or born anew, or you get to go back in time, or you are born in a different world or something. And this particular story is about a girl who dies in our world and she is reincarnated as a spider in a dungeon, a game dungeon. And this spider is the lowest of foes and like the least, the smallest threat in a dungeon. um, and she is very, very scared, but she's like, okay, I'm a spider. What do I do now? you know? Um, and then she has to learn about how the dungeon system works, and she tries to manipulate the dungeon system for her advantages. Because like she can't go up against other foes and stuff like that, because she does not have a lot of attacks in her, you know. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. So I mean, you were kind of correct in uh, a spider, I guess.
Spider becomes great warrior.
Yeah, but like I don't
Instead
know.
of leveling up, she outsmarts her opponent.
Yeah. She discovers the system and begins to manipulate the system. Uh, but she does grow stronger in a way to how to survive and become better. It obviously takes a while, it kind of reminds me of that South Park episode, when they have to like kill the World of Warcraft guy who kills them all the time, and they have to like go into the forest and kill boars for like
Yeah.
a couple of hours or like
2
days,
weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that. She has to like get around the system and manipulate the system to like grow stronger, even though she's like the lowest of foes, um, just to escape the dungeon. But it's kind of cool. I only read the first manga, and to me, it didn't say much. And I read it when it came out, so it was like many years ago. But I heard the light novel is a lot better, and a lot of people have asked me to read the light novel and do like my hot takes on it or my thoughts on it. So I will do it at some point. It's not very high on my reading list because I have other books that I rather get to. But I feel like the manga wasn't for me. So I feel like maybe the light novel will be better. Maybe it has more depth to it because I felt like, okay, that's cute and all in the manga format, but it didn't give me much more than that. But I also read the first one. Sometimes you can't really judge at an entire manga series on just the first volume, and you have to like read a few. The term is Japanese. Oh, wait, I blacked out. The Japanese do a number of Western examples. Yeah, just their word. Things like Gulliver's Travel is an isekai. Yeah, this was I was gonna say that I don't know who did it first, but isekai is definitely more common these days in Japan than in the Western world. But I do feel like it's coming back in the West world as well. Isekai also doesn't necessarily mean the main character die. Escaflowne, for example, doesn't have a character.
I see a lot of that looks like something connected to a blood bag with all the blood drops behind him and stuff. Maybe the story about that guy who's a vampire, but he's forcing himself to starve because he doesn't want to kill people and drink their blood.
Oh, he's a good vampire.
Yeah, but he's like going crazy because he's starving, but he can't die because he's a vampire. So,
and it's been going on for a couple of decades, and us humans are unknowing of their existence. And if they don't get this food or eat humans that they fatten up, they will take over the world and Earth, so to speak. And the group of people, they try to escape this hellhole to not be monster food. It's a really good manga. I do recommend it. Starving Anonymous. I feel like it's one of those horror mangas that people don't really talk about much, but it's so well written and so well done, and there's so many twists and turns into the story, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. Like it feels like one of those what do you call conspiracy theories that, like, you know, there's these big bug monsters controlling, you know, the USA government and blah blah blah, you know. It feels like one of those stories, but there's so many facts to it that makes you like start wondering and thinking like it makes sense though. Like they can explain so many things with the story, and it just makes sense. I really like it. But I can see why you thought it was a vampire and why it was like, you know, the red goo looked like blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you do have the monster in the background, and he's like hovering over him, you know, like he wants to eat him. He's like, rawr.
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 I like it.
Actually, our secret overlord.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the chapter when they showed us how exactly the monster looked like, and it was just like a huge shock. Like they are not anything that you would imagine them to look like. I was like, what the fuck is this? But then they turned really freaky really fast, so I like it. I don't actually own these mangas myself. I only read them from other places, so I don't have them in physical form, sadly. The next one is also a very, very famous one. See if you can guess this one, or if you maybe have seen it around.
What do we have here?
Yes. I see now that it also has English text. What?
No. Oh, I can see it. Oh no.
No.
Oh no. I'm getting spoiled to the story.
You are.
Oh no.
It's fine.
So I assume some guy gets isekai, was that the name?
Yeah.
Into a slime, into a fantasy world.
Oh.
And then he meets that girl with the cloak, and they fight the dragons and stuff. And the goblin-looking guy in the top left looked like some kind of comic relief. But yeah, this was easy to guess. Isekai into slime guy.
I see, I see. Well.
It is what it is.
Super sad. There's actually a light novel on this, a manga, an anime, and I think a game have come out as it as well. I'm not sure. But the full name is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It's sad that, I didn't see the text because I could have blurred the text out, I guess. Because I feel like you would not have guessed that the blob or the slime was the main character. I feel like you would have assumed the girl or something.
I would definitely think the girl.
Yeah, because I thought that
And
could be like a
that
tricky
wolf is her
one.
companion.
Yeah. Because you don't really think about the slimy thing, in the...
It doesn't even look like a character. It looks like a blob.
Yeah. It looks like a water drop, or something like that. But
I mean, I kind of see the eyes when I know it's a character, but
yeah.
yeah.
The plot is about this very lonely 30-year-old. I think he's like 36 or 37-year-old. I think his name is Satoru or something like that. He's like, stuck in a job and he's very unhappy. He has like, this normal, mundane, boring life. But then he gets murdered one time when he gets robbed on his way home. And then is like awakened in a fantasy realm, but he's a slime. And as a slime you can't really do much in the beginning, and he starts to find companions and friends and try to create alliances and build a nation of different monsters. But it has like, sword fighting, sorcery, and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's always fun when people are like reincarnated in things that you don't think about. I know there is like one story where someone is reincarnated into like those machines you can buy Coca-Cola from, like a soda machine, a vending machine. That's what you call it. I saw like someone was like reincarnated into a vending machine. That's a cool story, I guess.
Pretty cool. Looking at people all day.
Never.
One day they put a monster in front of you so you can't see people. It's sad.
Yeah. I read that one, Horde manga and light novels of the slime. There's so many of them. There are really many of them. But I think that I have only read the manga and not the light novel. But people say, like, they like the fact that they are building a civilization and doing it differently from what the other nations have. And that's like the hype of this story mainly, of how you build a civilization from the ground and up. Um, I heard the title before. Green guy looks like a Sesame Street Muppet. It kind of does, yeah.
True.
Never read the spider one earlier, but it started to sound similar. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like many isekai stories are very similar. Civilization building story. Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's kind of what it is. Um, mm. But I also heard that the slime turns out to be a very overpowered slime. I also seen clips from the anime on my TikTok sometimes where he like sits on a chair and then people come inside this big throne hall and they like kneel down to the slime, and then they like ask him for help, and people look down on the slime, but he's very overpowered and stuff. Um, but I haven't come that far into the story. I feel also like the manga is not. It wasn't for me, the manga, so I feel like maybe I should read the light novel because I feel like that gives me like more meat on the bone. But I also feel like this is the kind of story that maybe isn't that great and that deep in the first novel, and you have to like get into it more to like get to the deep parts of it. I'm back from roasting an AI. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh yeah, the next one that we have after this is going to be really hard for you to guess, by the way.
Oh no.
I picked it.
I'm ready.
I picked it because it was going to be tricky, but I also picked it because it's one I really want to talk about, and I think I'm going to do a video on it soon, an upcoming. It's a Korean manga, and I don't see enough people talk about it, and it makes me sad. It has three volumes, so it's not like a long series, which I always appreciate a shorter series, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So here you go. There's not much to go on.
Oh.
mm.
Hmm. So I see, looks like a little child at the beach staring into the sea.
Hmm.
Maybe the story is about an orphan boy who dreams to be a sailor, maybe fisherman. He wants to go on adventure at sea, perhaps. Maybe his parents got lost at sea, and that's why he wants to become a sailor to look for them. hmm So I think it's a story about a lonely orphan boy who wants to find his parents, maybe himself at sea. I'm gonna lock that in.
What kind of genre do you think the story is? And do you think it's like a sad story, or do you think it's an uplifting, wholesome story?
I think it starts off kind of sad and depressing, but then he finds what he searches for. So it's a good ending. Maybe it's a bittersweet ending because he finds his parents are dead, but he knows the truth, so he can start healing. I say sad story with a bittersweet ending.
Mm. If I say the title of this is The Horizon, does that change anything?
No, it doesn't change. It goes into the horizon, you know,
Yeah.
to find stuff.
Well, you're wrong.
Of
I
course, of
mean,
course.
you're right about it starting off sad and then it has a bittersweet ending. That you are correct about.
Let's go.
But the entire story, not so much. um, well, the story is about this guy. He's like 6 years old or something. He lives in our future. So it's a futuristic story, but not futuristic enough to be like sci-fi and cool stuff like that. It's more futuristic in this could happen to our world tomorrow if we're not careful enough, because it's basically about well, the entire book is from a child's perspective, so it's sometimes hard to know what is the exact meaning behind things, because our main character is a child and whatever happens is from his perspective, and we get to see everything from his perspective. And what we see is never explained properly, but it looks like all the adults in every country have started war against each other and they started to murder each other. So today, there's basically no adults left, and those who are, they are people who are bad, and bad people who murder, cannibalisms, and all that kind of stuff. And he's completely alone in this world and he doesn't know what to do. There's almost no dialogue in the first book because he's just wandering around all by himself. He have decided that if he just keeps walking, he will sometime find a home, a family, a civilization, something good. So he's just walking and just focusing on the horizon. And while he's walking, we see like all the damages the adults have done to the world, and it's a lot of dead people, a lot of tortured people, along the roads and all of that. Um, then he finds another child, a girl, and her parents have just been murdered as well, and they don't really understand each other. And in the beginning, I thought that they didn't speak the same language, to be honest, but it turns out that they do. They just don't speak to each other because they are scarred and traumatized from everything. But then they start following each other and becomes like friends and each other's families and company. But again, they're like 6 and 7 years old or something like that. They're still extremely young and they keep walking for the horizon. And the story follows these two children and the fucked up adults they meet along the way, and we get to see the world through the children's eyes and how it's been kinda fucked up with the war.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Kinda makes me think of the movie The Road.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that one?
I have. Yeah. It makes yeah. I can see the correlation to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one. I like that it's so different in the point of view of kids, that you follow it's from their perspective. But also I kind of like that it's focused a lot on the art and the pictures. And if you want to completely understand everything, because it's not a lot of dialogue, the people don't really talk to each other, there's a lot of silences between them. And they never like explain to you this have happened and blah blah blah. You have to like read between the line, but considering it's a manga, you have to, instead of read between the lines, you have to like look at all the art and see what is in the background and then puzzle together the story. I liked it. A picture can say more than 1,000 words, or what do they say?
Something like that.
Yeah. It begins very gray as well, very like a lot of big pictures with a lot of black and darkness. And then when they start to see a future and opportunity in the end, it starts to become brighter and brighter in the pictures, which is kind of nice, I think, too. But this is definitely a hard one because you can't really tell from the picture what it's about, you know?
I mean, I guess the orphan boy, the whole
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, you
And
did.
he did go on a journey, but not at sea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You did. There's 3 books left.
Let's
And
go.
this is one. Oh, it's kind of blurry. Couldn't find a better one. But
Is this?
this is a light novel that they made an anime for as well. I didn't like the anime so much. But I do have the first book. I own the first book.
I can see some Latin in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Deus tu vult. Doesn't that mean like God's will or something?
Yeah, something like that.
So the Latin part make me think like crusade. But the character, he's dressed kinda like Hugo Boss, you know?
Yeah.
Hugo Boss in the 40s.
You're saying Germany, Second World War.
He kinda dressed like a Nazi.
Yeah.
So I think it's a story about, I think it's a dude. It's kind of like a modern day crusade, or modern quote unquote, like early 20th century crusade. And the character in the picture is like a commander or something. Because you can see like a officer sword on his hip. And maybe he do some war crimes, I don't know.
Damn.
So, I think I'm gonna lock that in.
If I say, okay, first the genre, what genre do you think it is?
I think it's some kind of action adventure.
I mean, kinda. Not really. If I say the title is The Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Evil. Oh. Maybe Tanya, that sounds like a girl. Maybe she is a war criminal on a crusade. She's like a religious zealot on a crusade to take the Holy Lands.
The Holy Lands. I see.
Mm. Maybe she's a dictator, maybe.
Oh, do you think the person on the cover looks old enough to be a dictator?
No, it looks like a child dictator.
Do you think it would be a child dictator in our world or fantasy world?
I mean, didn't that happen in the old days? Like the king dies and his 11-year-old son gets the throne.
I mean, maybe.
Perhaps
Perhaps.
that can happen.
Hmm. Um, well, the story kinda at least start in modern day, in like 2010 something. It's about this. I don't think he has a name. I think is unnamed, but I know he's an atheist and he's a Japanese salaryman. Um, and he becomes murdered. I don't remember how he got murdered, but I think he something about I think he I think he fired someone and then that person got really upset about being fired and killed him or something. But then after he's dead, he's confronted by an entity that declares itself that he's God or something. And he condemns the salaryman for not having faith in him, and he's, a dumb atheist. And the salaryman, he's like, disbelieve in that, the existence of a god or a being, and is like criticizing the statement from his perspective, from like an atheist, and he's like mocking this god or this being or whatever. And this entity decides to reincarnate the salaryman into a world where he has to like face and very like difficult circumstances for not believing in this entity, and for hoping that he's going to like start praying to the being and asking him for help. And this salaryman is then reborn as Tanya, who's an orphan girl in an alternative universe that's kind of like the Imperial Germany, or like World War One Germany, 1920-esque. But there's also magic in this world, which the military is using. Um, and according to this being, if Tanya either does not die of a natural death or refuses to have faith in it, her soul will leave the cycle of reincarnation and will be sent to hell for the countless sins that Tanya has committed in her previous life as a salaryman. And then in search of this escape to not go to hell, Tanya decides to join the Empire's military and fight in the war, in hoping to reach a high enough rank as fast as possible to remain far from the battlefield, so she like doesn't get killed. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of good. Like I feel like I like the plot summary more than I liked actually reading the light novel, though. I don't know if I'm crazy about that. But I only read the first book, and maybe I'm giving up too fast. But I liked everything about it that, I listed right now. But then when I actually read it, I did not enjoy it. I don't know if it's the salaryman's constantly nagging in the thoughts, or how extremely strategic and like it goes into like all the military summaries and talks and stuff. I feel like it lost me. I think I liked the first third of the book, but then I was lost when they started talking about strategic ways of the military. I was like, okay, I don't understand anymore. I'm not here. I feel like if you have a bigger history interest and you know a lot about the Imperial Germany and World War One, I feel like this is a bigger enjoyment than for me. But I can also have given up too soon on it. I don't know. I feel like this is like one of the books that you would enjoy, Taylor.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Story sounds like something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
I do like my World War One and Two history too.
Yeah, I think Tanya is like 8 or 9 years old when he's reincarnated as her. But because he has all his memories and he was very ruthless in his life as a salaryman, he's implementing that into his life as Tanya, which makes him a very good military person. And I think that's why it's like Tanya the evil, you know? And she ranks up, and everyone is like, but she's just a child. How does she know these things? And how is she like behaving like an adult, but she's not an adult and stuff like that?
She gets stuff done.
Definitely. Definitely. I also feel like, I think I read the book very fast one day when I was sick. So maybe I didn't give it a fair chance because I read it while sick. And you know how you have your fever dreams and, fevers mess things up when you read them. So I might enjoy it more if I read it now, perhaps, but I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Correct.
The next one we have is the not the last one, but the second last. Ooh, it got some pretty boys on the cover.
Oh, it got some cutie patooties.
I do like the cutie patooties. This one, I couldn't find anyone without the English one, so I actually took the English one away.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, you got some censorship.
I censored it. Let's go. What do you think this one is about?
So directly I think it's maybe isekai, or maybe it's like one of those animes we watch where they play an MMO.
Ah, yeah.
So it's definitely like an alternative fantasy world with swords and magic, you know?
Do you
Okay,
find
so
the boys pretty?
pretty cute.
Which is your favorite boy?
The blue-haired one, of course.
Oh, which
And
one?
number 2 is the blonde guy.
Which one do you think is the main character? Or do you think they're all main characters, but like, different chapters?
I think they are like a trio. But like the blue-haired one looks like the leader because his sword looks cooler.
Ooh.
And the guy to the right has a bow. And the guy to the left, he looks like edgy side character, friend with the main character. I think they're like a trio doing dungeons and adventure. And looks like a boss lady in the top right. Her head. She looks like the bad guy.
Oh, is that
Maybe
a she?
the one in the top where you only see the head.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Maybe that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And in the bottom we have the love interest.
Oh, right. Who do you think the love interest is into? Or all three of them?
I,
Is it a harem? She's collecting boys?
I mean, I know what I would do.
You would collect the boys. Hmm.
I think she is in love with the guy in blue hair, but he's not interested in her, and the
Ah.
blonde guy is interested in her, but she
Ah.
is not interested in him. So it's like a triangle drama.
Mm. Okay. What kind of genre
Yeah.
do you think it is then?
Maybe slice of life.
Mm.
You know, friends doing quests, and then they go to town where the evil politician woman, you know, in the top is ruling over.
Ah, yeah. Luke says that he feels like it's a villainous otome game genre. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
It's like those games with like princess, you know? Like, hmm. Hi, Nine Sword. Welcome. Um, this manga and anime and light novel. I think it's a light novel. And I don't really know. It's a light novel at least. It's called The Strongest Knight. Is actually a cross-dressing nobleswoman.
Oh,
Cause the
so,
story is about
so it's a girl.
yes. So the blue-haired one in the middle is actually a noblewoman.
Damn.
And not a boy. And she goes to a military or night school for boys, and she's not allowed to be there because she's a woman.
Wham!
She's a
It's kind of like
woman.
Milan.
Yes. And she has a dream that she wants to form the very first female knight squad. But to do so, she needs to have her own education as a knight. So she cross dresses as a guy to go to this guy school. And those guys there are her friends. And some of them start to like her. But they start questioning themselves because they're like, I'm not gay.
I'm not gay,
Yeah.
but he cute though.
Yeah, but he's cute and he's kind of feminine and he smell good.
Oh, his skin is so soft.
Yeah, and then you also have like, the girls who like, oh my God, that dude is so feminine and beautiful.
Ooh.
But it is a fantasy world. It's not an isekai, but it's a fantasy world with knights and magic and stuff like that. It's a very fun, easy read. I do recommend it. I enjoyed it when I read it. It's nothing special or like amazing or anything, but it's fun. And I do like cross dressers, and I feel like I read more stories about guys cross dressing as girls to get into like all girls schools, and I don't see the reverse as much. I feel like, back in the day, 2010, we had some animes that had cross dressing girls that goes to guy schools and stuff, but I don't see it anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like cross-dressing villainess Cecile Sylvie. Oh, yeah, I heard about that one. I haven't picked it up myself, but that is also a series I've heard about. Yeah. It is always fun to see stuff like this, you know? I really like I mean, it's not slice of life story really, but it's still very like comfy and warm. And we have one left. And the one we have left, I have made. I made a video on. So the question is, have you watched my videos?
Perhaps.
Maybe perhaps. What?
I have.
Nah, you put them on in the background just to give me views. You don't actually watch them.
I support in my way.
I also talked about it. So the question is, do you remember what this book is about? This is 100% just to test how much he listens to me.
Oh, yeah, it's this one. It's the torture princess.
It is. You remember?
Is it one of those? A guy gets reincarnated into warrior.
Elizabeth Lefanu. And she offers him to become her butler. And Kaito is like, nah, I've been tortured my whole life. I want to die and be in peace. And she tells him that you either work as a butler for me or I will torture you for like 1,000 years or something. And he's like, okay, fine. I will be your butler. And then he kind of has to aid her in her assignment, and her assignment is to kill or destroy 14 different demons that's tormenting the world. And that's her job, or yeah. And the world around them is very much based around different kind of like torture devices. So all the demons, their different weapons and stuff is made by different torture machines and devices from the ages, which is kind of cool. The world building is pretty cool. The first one is really bad though. Like, I read the first one, and after reading the first one I was like, well, this is very like edgelord cringe worldy and I can't read it. And I felt like this is like a 15-year-old edgelord sitting there and writing his own wet fantasy about torture devices. I don't know. It was weird. And then people told me, like, it gets better. Like, the second volume is a lot better. And I was like, I don't believe you. That's horrible. This sucks. You know, you can't get better. But then I trusted people anyway, and I read the second volume, and it's like 100 times better than the first one. And I didn't think that was possible, but it is good, and I've continued to read it, and it's actually really good now. So if people read this and they only read the first one, pick up the rest because it gets better, I promised. I watched Dead again. Apparently you are the husband in one life and the wife in the next, so I would be fine with it. Ah, I see. Wasn't there another servant that got reincarnated, dropped the series after first volume? And my memory is fuzzy. I so far I haven't seen another servant that's reincarnated, but in the end of the first volume, they find like a doll or like a machine and they awaken her, and she becomes like their third companion, and she's also like devoted and in love with Kaito, um, because she becomes his girlfriend or whatever, or a lover. So she exists, but she's more like a robot machine doll or something. Yeah, but she was not reincarnated. She was just like, she is from that world, and she's the kind of like robot machine doll that people apparently use for practicing torture on, or they remodel them to become like sex toys or whatever. So she's not very friendly when they wake her up, but then she realizes that they are nice and Kaito is nice, and she kind of like falls for him or whatever. But I understand that you dropped it after the first volume, because me myself, I didn't like it either. But it gets better. It gets a lot better. Like each volume progressively gets better each time. And I've never seen that. It's kind of like the author is just like growing as an author uh, during his writing, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's funny though that you couldn't figure that one out, considering how much I've been talking about this.
I do remember you showed me this, and then you said a little about the story and how bad the first one was. And I
Yeah,
also remember how the second one is like a complete 180 quality-wise, and
yeah, yeah.
it gets so good. It's super good suddenly.
It's so weird. I've never, encountered that before.
It's usually the opposite, that they be lucky on the first one, then
Yeah.
it turns to shit.
But it's usually because, like, they write the first one and they have so much time and effort and energy to do so. But then when they, like, continue to write, they get, like, have more and more fans, and they get pressure to, like, publish as fast as possible. So the quality kind of go down. That's kind of what it usually is. Either the quality go down or they add more fluff that's not necessary. Like, I do enjoy fluff in my books, but sometimes too much is too much, you know? And I feel like that's like two of the biggest reasons I sometimes drop series, because, it gets progressively worse. So
Yeah.
this felt like it's just like, is also like completely opposite. But I mean, you can see it on like the Harry Potter books. Like, the first one isn't that big. Because when you think about the Harry Potter books, you think about these like heavy brick stones, like, the really big and thick ones. But if you look at the first one, it's not that thick. It doesn't have that many pages to it. It's because, like, they're adding more and more to the story. And sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes, it's just maybe too much. I don't know. As long as it's not fillers, I feel like fillers is my biggest pet peeve. I hate filler episodes and filler books or filler chapters. There's a lot of chapters that just completely fluff and filler. More words does not equal to more better. Yeah, but I also think, like, some authors get paid by how many letters they have, or not letters but words, or how many pages they have. I've read that, some people or some authors, that's how they get paid. So that's why some authors always have really thick books, because the thicker it is, the more they get paid for it. Which definitely also more ends to the fact that you put more fillers and fluff into it than is necessary. I feel. So, have you? That was the last one, by the way. So, have you found a book here that I told you about that you're like, interested in maybe picking up?
Yeah, some books are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it one particular that you remember that you're like, oh my god, that one? Like, give it to me now?
I'm thinking about a couple ones,
Mm.
Full Alchemist, eller Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, the Spider one
Mm.
sounded pretty cool.
Mm.
Also, the Starving Anonymous,
Oh, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
That's a pretty good one. Mm.
Uh, the Horizon one sounded pretty interesting.
Mm. You don't want to
Mm.
read Inside Mari? What?
Well,
You don't want to read Pleasure and Corruption? Hmm? Hmm?
maybe Alone at Night.
Yeah, you may not borrow my copies if you're gonna read them alone at night. I don't want them to be sticky afterwards.
I would never, I would never do such things to my body. My body is a temple. I am pure. I am wholesome. I am a very good boy.
Hmm. Doubt. You're
What do you
a
mean?
you're a toxic League of Legends person. Don't tell
No,
me you're not wholesome.
I am not toxic by choice.
Mm.
It's like a werewolf. It's forced out of me. I can't control it. I have to do it.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. So the League of Legends client is like a full moon to you.
Yes.
Ah, woo! Fucking werewolf, man. That's kind of funny though. Hmm. Did you find it funny though to do these plot summaries?
It was pretty fun.
I mean, you were
I
pretty
enjoyed
good.
it.
You were pretty good at it too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, half of them you could actually guess pretty good, and I thought I picked some
Mhm.
that were kind of hard, but you were pretty good anyway. I'm amazed.
Ooh.
But also disappointed at the last one that you don't listen to me.
What do you mean?
I will
I
remember
remember the
them.
name.
I will remember that you don't remember what I talk about.
I do.
I'm gonna clip you saying you don't remember and then show it to you every time we have an argument.
Oh no. What have I done?
Oh, if you remember that. Exactly. I remember that.
Your choices have consequences.
Exactly. By the way, I forced Taylor to start playing Persona 4 and he's addicted now and I like it.
I am.
I
It's
love
so good though.
Persona. Persona games are one of my favorite games, so it makes me happy that Taylor is enjoying them as well. I've been telling you for a long time that they're good, and you were like, yeah, yeah, whatever. But now, when I'm like forcing the controller into your hands and you're forced to play it, you can't
Mhm.
stop. It's kind of funny.
And the music is stuck in my head.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Did you try Metaphor Re Fantasio? Oh, I haven't. I haven't. Is it is it a good one? I need to. Oh yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't tried that one. But I've seen other people play it, And it looks really, really, really good. And I want to play it, but yeah, no. Persona 4 is my favorite, though, of all time. It's a mix of Persona with the more Persona. Ah, I see, I see. I also haven't played Persona 5. I've played all the Personas, like Persona 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Persona 4 Golden, but I haven't played Persona 5 or Persona 5 Striker? Strike? I do have them on my Steam, but I haven't played them yet. The other ones I have on my PlayStation 2. Persona 4 Golden I have on Steam though, but like I kind of prefer the old Persona that I have on my PlayStation. Even though it's kind of jittery at some point, you know, because it's so old. Like, you know, the characters kind of jump sometimes.
Yeah, like necks growing and
Yeah.
flickering. It's kind of funny though.
Yeah, I feel like it's charming. It means that you're
Like
playing an old school console game, though.
like that one time Teddy got like a really long neck.
Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of funny. Which is your favorite girl then from Persona 4? Or boy? Or boy?
So far is Shia.
I love Shia. Not Ayane then. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Ah, I love Ayane. She's so cute. Also, Kanji. I mean, you have to love Kanji. He gay.
Okay. His dungeon and boss fights pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Yukiko, her boss fight is just bullshit. Oh yeah.
It's so long though too.
Yeah. Kind of fun.
Pretty fun.
We've been streaming for almost 3 hours now, so I feel like it's time. It's 11 o'clock.
Goddamn.
Sleepy time.
Sleepy time.
Sleepy time. I feel like this was fun though. I feel like we should do this more often, and maybe next time I shall ask chat or Twitter and Discord for suggestions of different novels that you want to see, because I feel like it's a fun concept of, you know, guessing the plot from the cover. Do you want to join in again?
I would love to.
Damn. Well, you may not. I'm gonna invite someone else.
Ay.
Oh, Luke says that he unfortunately had a bad experience with Persona 5. I'm not really interested in playing more of the series. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I can't say anything about Persona 5 because I actually don't know. I haven't played it, but Persona 4 is the shit, man. It's definitely addictive. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to steal this concept for the light novel community. Do it. Have fun with that, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. I will be streaming tomorrow again, but tomorrow it's going to be like a co-working study stream. I'm going to be reading a new book, and I will have, like, you know, some background noises and stuff, and we can like motivate each other to get shit done. So you can either read with me, or you can study with me, or work with me. We usually do 45-minute like Pomodoro timer. So we do 45 minutes studying or whatever, and then 15 minutes we talk and catch up a little bit, and then we do that again and again. Yeah, so if you guys want to study or work with me tomorrow, you're welcome to join. It's going to be an earlier stream though, because I'm busy in the evening. So I think it's going to be around lunch. You can check the schedule on my YouTube for it. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Taylor, say goodbye. Be nice.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye, everyone. And good night. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.